Hello, everyone. This is Jack, the Obsessed Movie Man, and I'm starting to work on a new show, or at least I'm going to try it out and see if this works pretty well. It's unscripted, and it gives me something to do while I'm working on the actual reviews. And it's called Character Case, and it is about characters from film or TV. The criteria for this is the characters cannot have originated from a book, comic, or any other sort of medium other than film or television. And the first character we're talking about is Jerome Valeska from the show Gotham. Now, you're probably thinking, why am I counting Jerome Valeska as he is an adaptation of the Joker? Well, he is and he is not, as Jerome, for those of you who watched Gotham, Jerome did not turn out to be the Joker, which was a big debate amongst fans, for people wanted to see Cameron Monaghan's Jerome Valeska turned into the Joker, but instead the creators decided to do a new twist with a secret twin brother, God, I hate those cliches, named Jeremiah Valeska, who was not really set up all that well, and he turns out to become the Joker, although you cannot legally call that's a whole other discussion. Now, when it comes to Gotham, I compared it, at least for me, to be somewhat of an abusive relationship, where this show seems interesting, but then it hurts me and I leave. But then I hear it got better, I come back, I like what I'm seeing, but then it does something stupid again and I leave. And continues on and on and on. I do know about Jerome's story, though, in the show Gotham. Jerome, before we meet Jeremiah, Jerome is the son of a blind fortune teller, an old man, and some snake woman, and that's a drunk and abusive towards him, and this is at the circus. His first episode, we find out that he killed his mother, and that Jerome is either already crazy, as it was originally interpreted, but my theory was he was always crazy, so it's revealed he killed his mother. He does not show up again until season 2 when they do the whole Maniacs, which is a gang of lunatics subplot. He's part of it. He has more Joker-esque qualities to him, such as the laugh and his unpredictability, but he is killed off, despite his father, who is a fortune teller, prophesizing that Jerome would bring death and madness upon Gotham. Now, a lot of people were upset because the original idea for the Joker in Gotham was that the Joker could have been anyone, and that he's more of a philosophy than a person. This is demonstrated in the first episode of season 1, where you see a nervous stand-up comedian on stage. But then, eventually, once Cameron Monaghan showed up, they realized they struck gold and kept him until they killed him off in season 2. However, the idea of the philosophy was still there, showing at the end of that episode a bunch of TVs showing Jerome's crime that he was doing in that episode, and various people are watching the screen and are laughing, and some are even killing. So that was the idea they had. But then they decided, no, let's bring Jerome back, and they incorporated the New 52 storyline where Joker had his face cut off. So there are a lot of nods to different types of Jokers in Gotham, and starting with season 2, Jerome starts to have a somewhat bizarre obsession with Bruce Wayne. I can't remember what caused it, but it was there. And in season 3, he has this whole Killing Joke-esque scenario where he takes Bruce to a carnival trying to prove a point that there are no heroes / good people in Gotham. And there is a fight in the Hall of Mirrors, just like in Killing Joke. In season 5, Jerome would come back, but that's when we're introduced to Jeremiah Valeska, the twin brother, who is smart and possibly sane, but that's always up for debate. Anyway, to make a long story short, Jerome claims that Jeremiah was lying to his family about Jerome being an awful person, and that's why Jerome was abused by his family. In fear, Jeremiah fled to Gotham, and he created, because he's an architect, this elaborate maze so Jerome would never be able to find him. But lo and behold, Jerome does find Jeremiah and vows to drive him insane. Jerome then dies for the second time, claiming that he will live on in the shadows of Gotham's discontent. But what happens is Jeremiah returns, sees a present that's claimed to be from Bruce Wayne, because Bruce Wayne is sort of a kind of friendly character to Jeremiah in the episode. Bruce Wayne wants to give Jeremiah a grant for these devices that could be used for clean energy. However, Jeremiah opens this box thinking it's from Bruce Wayne, but it's a jack-in-the-box left by Jerome. It sprays Jeremiah in the gas, basically causing his skin to go white. ruby red lips, and so forth. And it's basically there where we find out Jeremiah is destined to become the Joker. In the rest of this season, he acts like the Dark Knight Returns Joker in that he's very monotone, very serious, and a lot of people did not like that. So when season 5 came around, they started to make Jeremiah a little bit more like Jerome, but still a bit of a different interpretation. This time, Jeremiah is obsessed with Bruce Wayne, wanting him to be his quote-unquote best friend. And it doesn't really seem like it's earned because there's not really this connection between Bruce and Jeremiah that there was with Jerome and Bruce. But one thing leads to another. Jeremiah is slowly going crazy. He has his henchwoman, who goes by the name Echo. He has her shoot herself in the head, which alters her brain, and she goes crazy, basically becoming the proto-Harley Quinn. I could question the logistics of that, but I'm not going to. But Jeremiah has this whole plan. It's crazy, it's Joker-esque, it's cool. He gives plastic surgery to 2 strangers to look identical to Thomas and Martha Wayne, having Bruce then relive the day his parents died, because in Jeremiah's mind, he says, I was not there on your most important day. We need to rectify this. And he also says, if I can't have you as a friend/brother, then I guess we'll be bonded by hatred. This plan fails, of course. Well, actually, go back a little. He does kill the 2 impersonators who look like Thomas and Martha Wayne, but he tries to have Jim Gordon and Lee Tompkins be the stand-ins in a way to make Bruce actually hate Jeremiah. This is foiled, and Bruce and Jeremiah have a final fight at Ace Chemicals, and lo and behold, Jeremiah falls into the chemicals, and 10 years later comes back as the Joker, whereas in that time period, Bruce is Batman. So, people have viewed Jeremiah's Joker as a different person altogether. It's been talked about in interviews. The character acts different. In fact, the character who is referred to as Jay, because you can't say Joker, Jay acts confused when Gordon calls him Jeremiah. But the thing is, throughout Gotham, they had a clear indication that Jerome was going to be the Joker. He took a lot of cues from different comics, such as the New 52 look, and so forth. There were Killing Joke homages, which Jeremiah did, but come on, Jerome did first. So what I decided to do is come up with a different interpretation of how Jerome's story could have gone. I've heard this is some of my ideas, but I've also seen some comments that had some interesting qualities to them that I implemented into here. I just want to state for the record that not every episode is going to go into a what-if scenario or how I would have done it. I basically explained Jerome is the Joker and should have been. And he is psychotic, he is a lunatic, he has the strange obsession with Bruce Wayne and is a showman. He has these Joker quirks too, such as he's in this elevator that's going really slow and he's trying to whistle next to this person in the elevator. All he says is, I used to be a good whistler, and doesn't kill the person. That is a Joker thing to do. Joker will sometimes just not kill anyone. But I wanted to give my idea of what I would have done with this character, so bear with me. The first season, keep it as it is. Have Jerome in that one episode, and there you go. Second season, you keep the same type of dynamic with him and the Maniacs, but introduce the twin early, Jeremiah. Jeremiah could be like a private consultant. He could be just this rich recluse that no one really knows about other than Gordon, who figures out that this is a twin. And then you'll keep the scene where Jerome does die. Everyone's looking at the television, laughing and smiling. You can even, someone came up with this. I apologize if I don't remember who, but you have Jeremiah watching the television as well, and you could go 2 options. One, he has a slight smile, which could indicate and maybe have people suspect that Jeremiah could become the Joker, or just have him watching and have no reaction whatsoever. It was implied in the show that the gas did nothing to Jeremiah's psyche and that he was already crazy, he could just hide it. But I think this would be kind of interesting and give people a thought, wait a minute, could Jeremiah become the Joker? And also, keep incorporating different characters. Don't have them act like Jerome, but have characters like that comedian in the first episode. Make it seem a little more ambiguous. Was Jerome just a red herring? But we're still trying to go with Jerome's story, so bear with me. We're going to have Jeremiah somewhat as a reoccurring character, not in every single episode, mind you, but sort of as maybe he could give some advice. He could be a replacement kind of forensic type scientist like Edward Nygma was in Gotham before he turned into the Riddler, something like that. But I would also introduce Jeremiah to be somewhat paranoid, like not maniacal or anything, but just crazy and make a little nervous around people. Even kind of set up something with Bruce, where Bruce, his presence reminds Jeremiah of Jerome, and he's uneasy being near Bruce Wayne, even though Jerome is dead. Now, we're gonna go to, I believe it was season 4. Oh, no. It was season 3. My mistake. Keep season 3 where you have the whole face scenario with Joker and have his other confrontation with Bruce. Season 4, Jeremiah is going to just be flat out gone. He's disappeared. No one knows where he is. At the same time, both Bruce and Jerome are captured by the character Echo, Proto Harley Quinn. And this is where you're going to introduce Jeremiah's maze. Jeremiah is going to give some countdown until a gas is going to be released, killing them both. Or there's something in there, maybe hitmen or something that Jeremiah has in the maze looking for them. I don't know. Jeremiah, if you want to keep this eccentric archetype, architect sort of character, I think that this would work fine. But in this episode, Bruce and Jerome are going to have to work together in order to escape, which actually has happened before with Batman and Joker, where they're forced to work together. They do escape, and Jeremiah will be killed by Jerome. At some point, I would have Jerome shoot Echo in the head, which does make her go crazy. But at some point, either Jerome the gas gets to Jerome, or he falls into some chemicals. Something happens, and that gives Jerome the white skin, red lips, and the dark hair, because we cannot use green. Basically, the season 5 look that Jeremiah had. And this is going to be where Jerome sort of changes, and this is probably the second biggest dramatic change I would do. Jerome does not want to kill Bruce because he now sees Bruce as something of a kindred spirit and a best friend. So what I would have is Jerome start acting like Jeremiah in season 5. And by this, I mean Jerome, in his twisted mind, is trying to act sane. He's trying to get Bruce's approval, but at the same time, he's still batshit crazy, pun intended. And so he's going to do the same plan that Jeremiah did, which was the Ace Chemicals episode, where he has the two Bruce Wayne parent lookalikes. He's going to recreate the death of the parents. He has Jim Gordon and Lee Tompkins in their place, and then you have the fight in Ace Chemicals, and Jerome, not Jeremiah, but Jerome will fall into the chemicals, and that will lead to the last episode, where instead of Jeremiah being in Arkham, it's Jerome. And so now we have this full circle where Jerome and Bruce, who have met multiple times throughout the episode, is now Joker, and Bruce, the best friend, has become Batman. I say this not hating Jeremiah, but I think that it would have worked better if Jerome had become the Joker. Anyway, guys, I would like to hear what your thoughts are. These are just my thoughts, or at least rough ideas. Like I said before, I saw some comments that addressed what they would have done, and I would sort of incorporated them into my version. I will be doing different characters from time to time, and yes, there will be a review coming, hopefully a TV recap as well, and we're going to try and get a critical and cynical out ASAP. I hope you like this, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.